Welcome to RPG Blokes. Today we're going to talk about alignment. And as a new player, choosing your character's alignment might seem like a quick and simple decision, but it's one that can deeply shape your gameplay and roleplay experience. First of all, I'm going to introduce the RPG Blokes. Barry, who is known to have the occasional vice, and he has often said this hobby is the only thing he does that doesn't involve drinking, gambling, or planning the downfall of capitalism.
That's the truest of all of your introductions so far.
Okay. Stephen, also not completely without the occasional vice, although to his credit, he has recently joined Baldur's Gate Anonymous.
Still not played it.
That's what they tell you to say. Right, okay, and finally John, who is having no end of trouble with modern-day slang, which is a shame as he's great at GMing the kids, but still he has found leaning into his encyclopedic knowledge of porn is helping him quite a bit.
Hey,
That's wrong.
Great, so I'm back on the register then. Shit.
In this episode, we're going to break down the classic alignment system in D&D, from lawful good to chaotic evil, and everything in between. And we'll explain what each alignment represents and how it can shape your character's personality and motivations, and why it's such a powerful tool for storytelling. The D&D system is brilliant. It relies upon two axes, so it's not a simple choice of good or evil. You have the good, neutral, and evil axis, and you have the lawful and chaotic axis as well, and they combine and create variations. I would like to just run through them all so that you can have an idea which one might suit you better as a player. I think it's a good, simple, quick choice to establish some kind of identity to your character. We'll go through them in turn, and we'll start at lawful good. The classic hero, I think, that values order and justice, always striving to do what's right within the bounds of laws and morality.
Or the authoritarian, I like to call him. Someone declares their lawful good. You know, potentially you're in for a bit of a ride here, especially if he's a stronger character. I think people feel compelled to really push the lawful good. I think it's one extreme of the spectrum, isn't it?
But it can quite easily come across as something other than good, can't it? Because which law are you following? Which code of conduct?
So they would follow all laws at all times, no matter what they were. So the good part of them should dictate that they would follow them to the best of their intent, rather than try and twist them. Technically, lawful good should be a good guy, but yeah, sometimes it gets twisted, doesn't it? Because it is an extreme alignment.
A zealot.
Yeah, I think you could put a zealot in lawful good. You could get away with it, and people have.
Yeah, John, what's your take on lawful good?
So, well, lawful good is the law. But if you've got, say, a paladin in a lawful evil city, slavery's legal. It's the law. What do? You've got what's good and you've got what's lawful. And it rather than used to browbeat a character, it's nice to make them question things.
But how would a lawful good character approach slavery, in your opinion?
Maybe buy them all legally and then set them free. That'd be a way of doing it. You're still working with the law by legally buying them, not upsetting the apple cart. But then you're perpetuating the system.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you'd want to stop slavery, wouldn't you?
Do it legally, yeah.
Campaigning.
peaceful protest.
Yeah. A strong leaflet campaign by a lawful good character.
Which has never worked.
So Barry, I play a lawful good character. He didn't begin as such, but I find myself portraying that at the table amongst quite questionable characters like your own, who are very chaotic and tending toward evil. I feel like the arsehole, and yet you're the evil characters. You know, it's strange. How do you feel that dynamic works for you?
I think there is much more of a chance of a lawful good character being an arsehole than there is a chaotic neutral. We all know these people who the rule of law is absolute and there is no flexibility, there's no grey areas, those people are the people that end up leading armies into genocide.
There's nothing worse than someone who knows that they're right.
I think talking about the Crusades, for instance, because the lawful good paladin or knight is often seen as, that's virtuous, and then the Crusades, which were far from in a way virtuous, they had an agenda, but would you have said that's a good agenda? It was a religious zealotry that But that is seen as a stereotypical lawful good.
It's just reminded me of a saying. It's saying every army that's gone to war has thought that they had God on their side. Even the opposing army that were fighting you believed that they had God on their side. Do you know what I mean? It's like there was no doubt that, like, well, they think they've got God on their side. We also think we've got God on their side.
Let's find out.
Fight.
Yeah, so it's very subjective. Not a nice alignment.
It's an extreme alignment.
Dragon Warriors is pretty good for that because a lot of the setting is when you've got your wandering knights, you've got them coming back from the Crusades, and then it's down to how you view your experiences. So my Sunday one, he's like a battlefield knight. He was a squire, very much that mentality. He saw some shit, but he's quite young, and he's come back.
You still play him as lawful good? Would his alignment change under that?
He tries to be a good guy.
So moving on to neutral good, a champion of goodness who prioritises doing what's right over strict adherence to rules or chaos, seeking balance in their actions.
I'm going to say it's my least favourite good alignment.
Okay.
It's a bit no.
Wishy-washy.
Yeah.
I always thought it was the pure good.
Maybe that's what I find boring about it.
I like neutral good. It's good for good's sake. And I like the fact that if I'm watching a film, that the lead protagonist could be neutral good. I like the good guy.
Can I just say as well, that is one of my favourite inside my head hobbies, is when I'm watching something and, oh, what alignment are they? and every now and then you get something that is just like, well, that is the perfect portrayal of whatever the alignment is that they're portraying.
It's good practice, isn't it, for your character play and understanding the system. So let's move on to chaotic good. But it's described here as a free spirit who fights for justice and freedom, following their own moral compass rather than the laws and traditions of society. What differentiates, particularly, say, a main protagonist from being neutral good to chaotic good for you, Steve?
Coolness.
I mean, to be honest, it's far more cool to be chaotic good than neutral good. Oh, come on, it is.
Yeah.
Chaotic good, you are the maverick. You're the guy. You're Tom Cruise. You're the one that just breaks the rules to do something cool and good. I mean, yes, there's no comparison. Chaotic good's the way to go. It is the best alignment. And the end. No, you don't need to discuss it anymore. Carry on, next one.
No one respects someone who ends up with a call sign like Maverick, because you just think, oh, you pompous prick.
Yeah, I guess they are pompous, chaotic good, but they are cool.
Because actually, chaotic good is my favourite alignment to play. It is just stunningly good fun. You can kind of justify most behaviours from the slightest immoral behaviour by someone else. The chaotic part, like the good part, is that person did bad. The chaotic part is, I'm going to fuck them up.
You are good, right? So you're just as good as a lawful good character is concerned, or a neutral good, and that direction, that moral compass, is quite helpful within the game. But the chaotic nature of it makes it a little bit more fun to play, like you say, but you're still making those choices between good and evil.
As chaotic good is probably the easiest one to play.
If as a person in the real world you are generally a pretty decent guy, chaotic good is a doddle to play. It just absolutely is. And you know, I think it's the alignment that I've played most, and I think it's the alignment that I played first. And although, you know, I say I'll act outside of my alignment, it's the one that I've got the most affection for those reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best one, I think.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. So let's move on to chaotic neutral then, which is a bit of the unpredictable about it. It's a wild card. It's driven by personal freedom and whim, and prioritises individuality above all else. And it's not evil, it's not good.
It's been used to justify any level of bullshit the player wanted to do, because it's what my character would do over the years. It's wrong, but it does mean you're playing it with no preset limits. It's difficult to trust that the character that's being played under that umbrella. To play that, you've got to be slightly unhinged. It's more of a Joker thing.
That's a challenging alignment to play based upon that. Yeah.
To do it properly, it's the most difficult.
And maybe the most destructive within the game, would you say?
On a personal level, it's how to be a dick and get away with it.
In the past, I've played chaotic neutral characters and quite enjoyed them. I think as I've become more mature, I think I'm less likely to do so. They're very destructive, and they don't have any concern for anybody else. And they're great to play strong characters with, like fighters, I find. Stephen, what's your take on chaotic neutral?
When we're 12.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, speaking of when we're 12, I think chaotic neutral become a very popular alignment with the early editions, because it was a bit of a finger up to the DM who tried to control you. It's kind of, I'm chaotic neutral, you can't stop me doing this shit. I wouldn't agree it's the most destructive, because I think chaotic evil
should be the most destructive because it has chaos and evil in it, whereas at least chaotic has a neutral element, which you should be able to rein yourself back in a little bit.
But if your DM says nobody can be evil, then you can...
Chaotic neutral is great. It's brilliant. It's my second favourite alignment because of the old school nature of it. I don't want to hassle when people saying, what's your alignment? You just say, well, I'm just chaotic neutral. And the people just leave you alone.
Okay, moving on to the next alignment. So we're going to go to lawful neutral. A strict adherence to the rules, order, or a personal code, acting without bias towards good or evil. Balance is their goal.
That's the most hateful one for me. I had so many difficulties playing it. I did it, but...
So you apply the rule of law without favour or prejudice, as the system likes to tell us, the legal system, and again, that's what it is.
Yeah. It doesn't allow for the right or wrong of a situation. So the letter of the law can put away good people as much as it does the bad.
I've played a lawful neutral in D&D when the priesthoods dictated it. There was priests of law. I had great fun with it. It is very straightforward, I think, to play. It has its rules and you know exactly where they are, and it is the judicial system is lawful neutral for sure. And you just act as if you are the embodiment of the judicial system, and you can't go wrong.
So, but may I suggest that lawful neutral might be quite a challenge and alignment for you to accurately play?
I mean, I think... Yeah, no, I don't think I could. I had a little think about anyways. No, I can't. I was trying to find a circumstance where I was like, well, maybe, and I can't.
You just don't think you wouldn't enjoy it, or you just don't think you could?
I wouldn't enjoy it, and also I don't think the other players at the table would enjoy me doing it.
Yeah.
I don't think I would do it well. And again, I'd say to new players, like, this might sound like this stuff is really deep, and I know I can see Stephen looking at me already because he doesn't like what's going to. But this stuff for me just ain't that deep. Play the game how you want to play it. Fuck your alignment.
Yeah,
you know,
you're never going to play lawful neutral with that attitude.
No. And look, I'm not. I don't want to make it sound like I'm doing alignment down. I just think it's such a small part of what we do.
Yeah.
Not this podcast.
It can be. But we are talking about alignment.
This is a whippersnapper, and I mean, he's effectively he hasn't gone through what we've gone, the pains of the alignment system.
Damn kids, the new fat in the edition wars.
I don't like lawful
No,
neutral.
I wouldn't choose it particularly, but if you wanted to play a character that's very different to your own moral compass, then it is a good one.
There was a good, I think it was the Next Generation. It was an away team, this fluffy little planet. Everyone was nice. Everyone was pleasant. And there was a keep off the grass. And some kids were playing. Toy landed on the grass. That's it. Death sentence. One rule. One thing.
That's lawful evil, surely.
I'm not sure a lawful neutral society would have that law.
Lawful societies don't have to be good. Yeah,
that's where lawful in Warhammer, as just lawful, is probably the darkest one to go.
Okay.
That's the law. We're going to burn you because that's the law.
That's the law, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
they are more brutal.
So what in D&D, what would be the equivalent alignment of that one, if the Warhammer lawful, do you think?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's something to be wary of.
It's a neutral take on it. They would just take the law as written.
Yeah.
There's no evil take on it. There's no good take on it.
I mean, Dredd, technically, lawful neutral, but he's a good guy. He does it because he loves the city. He wants to protect people from themselves. But the law is first and foremost.
Like an awesome guy, not a good guy. Not a good guy.
Bury my heart at Wounded Knee. Read that, that'll change your mind.
I've said this before. This is the thing about like alignment, and this is true in fiction as it is in life, is good people do bad things, bad people do good things. I don't think there's any such thing as a singular good person. Everyone's done something stupid and wrong in their life. I don't see Judge Dredd as a good character.
Yeah, I'd hate to live there.
Well, I'd be in an ISO cube or shot within a week. Probably just for things that I fucking said.
We're going to move on to true neutral, and this is an alignment I've always had trouble with because I don't fucking understand it. So I want somebody to explain to me, really, apart from, druids are true neutral, it's kind of you're in touch with nature and all of that. What is true neutral? How can that work? Please, somebody give it a go.
I would say the second most difficult one to play after lawful neutral, because that is the no preconceived ideas. Originally, creatures, like things of creature intelligence or lower, were listed as neutral. It wasn't a real alignment. It's really difficult to have a character that's got a reason to play if you're going to be true neutral. I
Just
would
won't
say.
interact with anything, I
No.
suppose.
So traditionally, if a druid's environment, woods or whatever, is being threatened, they've got a reason to join up with the party.
To readdress the balance, bring things back into balance.
Yes, a druid might do something good and then deliberately do something they perceive as equally evil for the balance.
Sounds a bit screwed up to me.
And that is why it is difficult to play. One of the things I saw was a green dragon, which I don't know about now, but traditionally they were neutral evil. But they would also live in more or less harmony with their environment. They lived in woodlands and such like. So a druid wouldn't have too much of a problem with them. Alignment be damned. And then you might get good hunters coming along to kill the evil dragon, and the druid might defend the dragon.
That's why we, obviously, as we've seen, we can't describe the neutral alignment without mentioning druids, can we? It just seems to be the traditional way, isn't it? And it is, I think it's the hardest alignment for sure. And I've seen it played two different ways, either just doing nothing, which is probably correct, or you do the balance thing, which is probably better for a game. Again, your druids only if someone's invading the forest, burning it down, you'd stop it, wouldn't you? So, and then you'd get involved in it because it's tipping the balance one way or another. I think that's probably the best way to approach it.
What about a monk as well? The Zen nature of these things, is it?
Yeah, but you can get some
something
Zen.
that
They just sit there, don't they? I think a neutral character would take on the characteristics of the rest of the party. I think that would make more sense. If they were evil, you go, okay, I will uphold what they want to do. But equally, then you could join a good party and uphold their values. I think that's where the strength of a neutral character would be.
Again, off the back of the monk there, that reminds me of a series of books by Shapiro and Murphy, and it's a martial arts assassin who is neutral. It's whoever pays, obviously the target deserves it. Doesn't matter if they don't. Take the money, do the thing.
That's the first time someone's described like a true neutral character that I was like, yes, 1,000,000%. A professional assassin, not with any allegiances, yeah.
Not doing it for evil purposes. Yeah.
A character like that being neutral would be really good fun to play. So I think if I were to be thinking about neutral, I find it hard to imagine how a neutral person ends up with skin in the game. Like, how does a true neutral end up with motivations? And motivations are a really important part of your character's journey. And again, they're not fixed. But yeah, true neutral, I don't think I've ever been at a table with someone playing it.
Would it be character motivated purely by money? I guess a hitman and stuff would be motivated by money and alone, or assassin.
Well, no, but its title is very bland, isn't it? Like, do you know what I mean?
Doesn't help
it doesn't sound exciting. Like chaotic good sounds like, there's some spark and some pizzazz about that.
Yeah.
We are neutral.
Yeah. Okay, so we're moving on to the last three alignments now, which are all of the evil ones. We'll start with lawful evil, a cunning villain who uses structure and rules to achieve their selfish or malicious goals, often as a manipulative authority.
Politician.
We mentioned the drow. If you're in the books we're reading by us, R.A. Salvatore, if you want to get a lawful evil society, then that was hugely well detailed. Lawful evil society made the drow.
Which is why Lolth tried to interfere, because she wanted it going back to chaos.
It's kind of like
the
houses,
thing.
wasn't it? Different houses were vying for superiority. They all adhered to the rules.
A lawful evil character would use the law to his own ends.
Yeah, for certain, but would adhere to it out of fear, I believe, rather than the belief in it, but the fear of being punished.
The Empire in Star Wars, lawful evil. It might be filled with people that are working for stability and the future and structure. That's the lawful side. But how it's applied, evil.
Stormtroopers have families too.
Yeah, well, depends on the generation, but yeah.
The next one is neutral evil, a self-serving character who acts solely out of personal gain, unconcerned with law or chaos, pure pragmatism. Pure evil, would you say, Stephen?
I suppose he's the sort of person that would do something evil in modern day and not be sent to a mental asylum. They would actually take the hit for it, and they wouldn't be able to claim they were mentally insane when they performed the action.
So more dangerous than chaotic evil?
Don't know. A bit more predictable, I suppose.
Can you be a stupid neutral evil, or is it an intelligent
I
type
feel
of
that you've got to be a little bit savvy. Like a serial killer, you've got to challenge the people after you, and yes.
I would put forward, if you take away neutral evil and neutral good and change neutral to natural in each case, it's just what they inherently are. It might not be chosen. It's just, neutral evil is the darkest of the evils.
Check out RPG Blokes Plus. It's our premium service where we give you the opportunity to help pay our bills. And we guarantee you an episode every week, exclusive live plays and interviews. Now that's got to be worth £3 of anyone's money.
RPG Blokes Plus. Regular episodes for a regular you.
So we'll end up with another chaotic alignment, and that is the chaotic evil, a destructive force of anarchy and malice.
So many supervillains are chaotic evil.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's no rhyme or reason. It's power hungry, but you can also take it right the way down to your, the bloke who's going to beat someone half to death for saying the wrong thing to him.
I thought you were going to say with a pure tanker.
With a pure tanker. I'd like to point out that the alignment of that character that beat someone to death with a pewter tanker was chaotic good, and let me finish. And it was because he was settling injustice. That's chaotic good.
Yeah, maybe. John, chaotic evil. Have a bit of fun with that.
If you're going to have like the big bad, they've got to be powerful to carry that shit off. They've got to be, your big dragons, your powerful mages, because might makes right. And they expect their underlings to try to move upwards within the company. Chaos does not always mean stupid. Slightly less planning, but smarter on the fly.
It does have a stupid feel about it, doesn't it, chaotic evil?
I think so.
Yeah.
Agreeing with Barry, I suppose. I think the villain would be the sort of villain that would want the end of the world type villain. It's chaotic evil. Well, why would a neutral evil person wouldn't want the world to end, would they? Definitely not a lawful evil wouldn't want the world to end. But chaotic evil are the sort of villains that want to destroy the world, and then have a new world order potentially in it, and where they're the top of it. Yeah. They're the most destructive. They're the ones that want to wipe the world out just because they can.
They're the larger than life villains.
Yeah, they are. They're the ultimate villain. That's why it's a tricky one to play as a character. If you play it on that scale, I think that's why a lot of the villains are chaotic evil, because they just want to kill people for it doesn't make sense. Why would you want to kill the entire world? You won't be able to rule the world. Just want to do it anyway. It's what they do. Isn't
it's all anarchy.
It's anarchy. It's it, man. I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty difficult to play like a megalomaniac.
Could be fun if that's your big bad. You're setting him up to fail.
You can probably tell there's quite a big difference between three of us here that have played for 40 years and our approach to alignment, and how much it's baked into the way that we approach the game. As old-timers, Steve and me and John, alignment runs very deeply into our experience of the hobby. But for a new player like Barry, that's not quite the case.
No, you were very lenient with me when I first started, because I just did whatever I wanted as a player, regardless of, what I thought at the time, and kind of still do a little bit now of what was an arbitrary decision that I'd made at the beginning of the campaign. So I do think about alignment a bit more now.
But you picked up on the fact that there isn't so much emphasis on the choice of alignment in the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons. You know the alignments. I mean, you've played it long enough to know them.
I know the alignments. I do now give more consideration than I did, because I think it's fair. If you've said that your player is lawful good and you go, I'm going to cut his hands off, I think the DM should come in and say, well, do you want to discuss changing your alignment?
Yeah. Anesthetic first, then cut his fucking hands off.
I think people with lawful good could argue that that's a very lawful good thing to do. I've had players do that. But I think the alignment, it's a miracle. It survived from the 1st edition to the 5th. I'm honestly, it's not really changed since the 1st edition, but in the 1st edition, it had mechanically a huge impact on the game, and in 5th edition, it has zero mechanically impact on the game.
Yeah, explain how it used to be.
So certain classes like paladins had to be lawful good. If you was a thief or rogue character, you could not be lawful. Yeah, but now you can. That's the thing. They swaps it all around. So paladins don't have to be lawful good, and rogues can be lawful good if they wish to be, because it's a choice.
It was used as a straitjacket too, wasn't it?
I was going to say that. Yeah, amount of DMs that would use it as a hammer to get their players to play exactly like they wanted to do. So it's a little bit ham-fisted. I like the alignment system, but that made me dislike it, because someone says, "Oh, is that lawful good? Can you really do that?" And the DM never said, "Oh, you're chaotic evil. You're not very chaotic evil, are you? I'd rather you be a little bit more chaotic evil." It was always to try and get people to be good, not to be evil.
Do you remember forced alignment changes and you lose?
Yeah, you lost 2 levels for forced alignment changes, so it was very much a deep mechanic.
What's a forced alignment change?
If the DM deems that you're not playing your alignment, you'd be forced to change to an alignment he deemed that you were playing, and you would lose 2 levels.
And you don't want your DM dictating that to you. I think that's very old school. We've already discussed that doesn't work too well in modern role playing. Barry, you like to play a chaotic alignment. Is that what you do? Do you choose an alignment that suits you as a person, or do sometimes you try and do something a little bit different?
So I think I choose an alignment that suits me as a person. I mean, generally speaking, I would play chaotic neutral or chaotic good. But I think alignment is useful in thinking, right, what kind of character do I want to play? What do I want this guy to be like? I'm considering, it's something that I've been thinking about for a while now, having a go at playing an evil character. I think, I think that's something that every RPGer should do at some point. I think that sounds like fun. I understand that mechanically things have to be done to keep the game fluid and to keep the game moving. We've discussed how that works in combat and spells, etc., etc. But I do think that, when you're talking about, alignment is essentially a person's morality. And I don't like the idea that morality is a fixed thing. I think good people are capable of evil deeds, and I think evil people are capable of good deeds. And sometimes I think it depends on, what side of bed you get out on in the morning.
By applying that alignment to your own play of the character, then you can have those complexities to it, tendencies as we used to call them.
Yeah, but that's where everyone migrated eventually, I think, probably universally, to just play chaotic neutral. Because that was just seen as you can do anything you like. And someone will say, oh, you can't do that. Well, just point down to the character sheet.
It's more chaotic neutral.
Yeah, it's kind of like...
Whereas now we're kind of recommending it as a tool to help you create a distinctive character.
Everyone will ask you what your alignment is when you've made an action in the game. Even now, probably. I mean, maybe not so much, but everyone will say, what alignment are you again? And it's kind of like, it does pop up. The player that doesn't tell you alignment, you just instantly know they're chaotic evil. I mean, it's just the way it is, isn't it? Yes.
People like to keep those things quite secret, don't they?
Did, yeah. If anyone kept their alignment secret, it was definitely a chaotic evil. And you had the guy that declared they were lawful good, you always thought, oh God, here we go.
Yeah,
because lawful good was probably just as bad as chaotic evil, because they're very authoritarian, aren't they? And usually I'm lawful good is followed up by, and you've all got to do as I say. Usually happens after that statement. Yeah.
Awful good.
It usually does. It just does.
It's like the old vegan joke, is how do you know somebody's lawful good?
Yeah.
They tell you
about it.
It is lawful good. Is that alignment? Because the old school, you speak tied to a paladin.
There is an alignment system that applies in independent games.
Most of the ones I play don't have an alignment. There's it's more of a role play thing. Warhammer has a better take on it. So you've got, in Warhammer, you've got good, which is mostly used to stop the elves from becoming OP in original edition. Lawful, which I found to be the darkest. Law for the sake of it.
It didn't come with the good caveat, did it?
No. So lawful was the Sulcanite witch hunters. They are truly evil bastards, but because it's the law, it didn't have right or wrong attached. It was the law. I'd rather work with someone who was evil in Warhammer terms than someone who's lawful. Evil you can work with, they're self-centered, you know about it. Neutral and chaos were the others. Chaos were the big bad. It's this.
That was the worst alignment, wasn't it, in general?
Yes, they are the opposition. Evil will work against chaos because chaos will swamp you.
But interestingly, and I agree, that's a great system for showing how alignment can work different to D&D and really work well. They've dropped alignment from the 4th edition.
You struggle to find any system that puts an alignment in it. It's not D&D. That's why I'm thinking it's done awesome to survive to modern day.
It has. It's there in 2024 edition, and we think that it's worth considering. It's a quick choice.
That surprises me because it's discrimination.
I'm going to need you to elaborate on that.
It forces you into opposition with other player characters, which is kind of very much did in early editions, didn't it? It did force you, because you would make the declaration as your lawful good character, saying if you lot are evil, we're going to have a problem. I guess that's a role play. It's a forced role play dynamic, isn't it? It's not discrimination. It's more kind of focusing you in.
As soon as something is one or the other, that's a discriminatory part.
You're making a choice that's excluding another choice.
So, Stephen, who do you think benefits the most from alignment, the DM or the player?
The DM certainly can. Because certainly, if the players stick to the alignment, because it's very difficult, especially in modern day D&D. But if all the player characters have lawful good on their character sheet, you're probably in for a certain type of scenario or a certain sort of reaction from the players. They're going to want to do technically what's good and what's best. Whereas if you've got someone having chaotic evil, then if they're playing their alignment correctly, and it would be random and it'd be chaos. Yeah, I mean, some people with chaotic alignments have got dice out and rolled it, and then that decide what they do. I mean, it's very chaotic.
Yeah, we have one of
We
those.
have-
Is that you, Barry?
No, it's not. He does some terrible things, but he also has meaningful bonds and relationships with everyone else in the party. We are still working as a team, and there is an element of we need someone to do something drastic. Where's the evil guy?
That's quite a modern take, I think, on the alignment system, because back in the day, but if someone wasn't acting particularly chaotic evil, he would lose 2 levels from it. I think it's good to have the shades of light and dark. I think it's better.
And this is what I was saying. The idea that we just all have this fixed morality is ridiculous, both in game and out.
I think
of
that's
game.
why they took the mechanics out of the alignment system for the better, I think.
There are certain types of character that alignment can still have quite a large part in, can't they? For instance, if you're a priest, then your god will have a certain moral compass and an alignment. And if you stray from that, a DM should take it.
Yeah,
call
they
you
used
to
to.
account.
I'm not sure if they do anymore. They're kind of like more kind of like gods of battle, gods of this, not really of morality. I think they've taken morality out of a lot of the religion.
Just as well.
real world shit.
Yeah, I think it's more kind of very generic. You've got war domains, you've got healing domains, and
Barry, do you want to have the final say on alignment?
Yeah, don't worry, folks. It's not that deep. You know, pick your alignment, enjoy it. If your character is going in a certain direction and you want him to behave in a certain way, have a chat with your DM. You know, look, this guy, because of these experiences, I think his alignment might be changing. And actually, I think that's like a really good bit of role play for someone to do that, for someone to realise that this decision that they made a while ago, because of the things that have happened to them in game, will change you. And it should change your character. Your character shouldn't, if your character is behaving at the beginning of a campaign and at the end of the campaign in exactly the same way, I don't think you've role played that character.
No, that's a part of the journey. And
It is.
And that alignment shift is there for you to have. It's a lot easier to change from chaotic neutral to anything else than to begin perhaps as evil and turn to good. That's a lot more challenging.
Well, you know,
on a narrative level.
I don't know that it is. Redemption arcs happen, and so does the descent into evil. Films and literature would be pretty barren without both of those. I mean, if have you watched Breaking Bad?
Worth watching that alone, isn't it? Just to get an idea of those character arcs, and maybe more fun starting at one extreme and having in mind that you might like to make your way to the other. I think I've never done that. I've never approached a game like that.
And this is absolutely one. See, this is one of the things that I love about this hobby. I honestly think I could be playing this for the rest of my life and still think, oh, you know, I haven't quite played that option out, and I haven't done that, and I haven't had that scenario, and I've never done a character go from this to that. That's the beauty of it. It's one of the truly endless things out there.
Yeah.
So you're saying you might ref once you're in your 90s, yeah?
Shots fired. Do you know what? The only time in my life that I will consider reffing is once I have retired from work.
That's
Is the God's
actually
honest
fair.
truth.
Hold on.
Well, that's a date.
That's on record.
Well, no, but I've always said that it's like a big responsibility, and
No, it's the time constraint.
because of the time pressures involved and stuff like that. Like I have a fair idea of how much work you guys put into it, and I ain't got the time to put that work in. I just simply haven't.
Okay, RPG Blokes season 10. Barry's going to be.
It's turned from never to maybe.
Yes, what's going on there? That's good.
Slippery slope.
Okay, so we come to the end of this podcast. Stephen, we've got a new format for the.
Am I
for
doing
the-
this one again?
State approved wisdom.
So I don't know whether you've managed in the time past to come up with a saying, but I've got another one for you because
I'll
yeah,
look at it.
have a look. Yeah,
I'll
it's good.
practice it.
Yeah, go.
Who's that?
I don't know. It's but
Okay.
everyone knows the quote.
Okay. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Samuel Johnson.
Who's that?
Fuck knows.
Well, why'd you say a quote that you don't know who it is?
You handed it to me. like a good drone, I said it. Anyway,
He
so
was only
let's
following orders.
slice and dice.